I have a question to ask you guys, and be completely honest with yourself. No bullshitting it or anything. Like, just be completely honest with yourself. Do you truly believe God exists? Now, I know there's going to be a bunch of questions asked, and just a lot in general. And I know it's a really tough question to answer, because maybe all your whole entire life and your whole family has all believed in him, so you have just kind of made it to where you believe in him, or just God in general. But ask yourself, genuinely think down, do you think he is real? No one has ever seen the man. No one has. And everyone has a different depiction of him. Everyone does. Because the most common depiction of God and Jesus and all of them are, just white male. Like God, for example, just a white guy with white hair, white beard, Jesus being his son. The whole brown hair and stuff like that, and all that fun stuff. But when you really check the information, when you really go back and read the Bible and check descriptions of the guy, you really start thinking, who am I imagining? Who am I depicting in my head on who God or Jesus or any of those people are? And again, I'm Catholic, so I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, trying to disregard anyone's religion, and that's also the thing though, is when you also think about it, why are there so many different religions? Why are there even religions in general? Actually think about that. Because on one hand, one religion may say only my God exists, your God doesn't exist. So only mine does. So listen to what he says. What's it called? I forgot what the term is called. But it's similar of just listen to what he says, follow us, become Christian, become Catholic, become this, become Muslim, become this, become that. And it's when you really think about it, how did this all happen? Where did this all exist? How did this all come to be? Why do you believe that only your God exists and no other God exists? But yet someone else, like the person, let's say you're arguing against, they think different. They say my God exists, your God exists. Everyone may believe the same God that I think exists, but other people think of their gods that exists, and that is okay. I accept everyone. If you don't want to accept my God, but you want to accept your God, that is completely okay. I'm just happy you believe in something. You believe in a God. That God has different morals and all this fun stuff, different from mine. That's perfect. That is completely perfect. And yet, others will truly be pissed that you are telling them, I am okay that your God exists, but I don't like that you think your God is the only God. And then it just kind of begs the question, is God even real? Or is it just a depiction of your spiritual following? I think it's kind of what I'm trying to say. Because there are people who obviously will pray to God, pray for this, pray for that, pray for all this to kind of exist, and kind of just happen, and kind of God gave me strength, God listened to me, God this, God that. Sometimes it's is it God that's doing that, or is it just yourself doing it? Like if you tell God, oh, like, hey God, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to be making a fuck ton of money, or I want to be a millionaire. Never work a day in my life once I reach to that point and stuff like that. But if you never do anything about it, but you keep just praying and praying and praying and praying for it, but don't do anything about it, and you keep saying, and you keep praying to God or Jesus, whatever, then it's like, so does he exist? And he's not, and if he exists, but he's not making your dream come true, whose fault is it? Is it your God's fault, or is it your fault because you're not taking the necessary steps to do that? And not just for like being rich. It could be for having like a healthier life. Could be for having a newer car, or whatever the case may be. A healthier family, just whatever the case may be. Like, when you truly think about it, like, is it all on God, or is it just up to you? Like, spiritually, like, sometimes you have to look within yourself. Because I know people will say, like, oh, God gave me the strength to live another day. Or God gave me strength to do that. God gave me strength to improve into myself. And sometimes I'm like, did he? Or was that you that finally said, hey, I need to stop being lazy and do something? Like, was it God that truly gave you that power? Or was it yourself that gave you that power? And I'm going to say you're lying to yourself. Because again, religion is religion. I respect every religion. But it's just one of those questioning things of, about just God in general. Because there's people who don't believe in a God, but believe in science of, well, this happened because of science, or this happened because of science. And people will say, no, this happened because of religion. This happened because of this, and this happened because of that. And there's people like me who say, I believe, like, my beliefs are, part of me truly believes there is something out there. There is someone above us watching. And sometimes I don't even think it's God in general. Sometimes I just think it's family members just watching over us, taking care of us, making sure that we are okay. Like making sure that they give us the strength that we need. Like they're watching us and saying, hey, we see you. We see you're in pain right now. Let me give you some help. Let me give you the strength that I've been trying to give you, or something like that. Or maybe they talk to God and say that. Like really think about it. Because sometimes it's because when people die, people who commit suicide and a bunch of other stuff, and people blame God, it's like, why are you blaming God? Like when you're saying, like, God, why'd you take my kid away from me? Or God, why'd you do this? Or God, why did you do that? Like, why are you being angry at God? Why are you being angry at, again, something that doesn't visually exist? Like, why are you being mad at that, at them, or whoever the case may be? Because again, everyone has a different image of a God, of their God. That's why when you go to a store, to whether it be a Bible store or just stores that do have pictures that depict Jesus and depict God himself and stuff like that, every picture is different. No picture is the same. Every picture is different, whether it be hairstyle, whether it be facial structures, whether it be the color of his skin and whatnot, which then begs the question, no one really knows how God exists. No one really knows how he looks like. No one does. Like, literally, no one does. And so then when people tell you this is how he looks, it's like, no, you don't know how he looks, because that's maybe how you depict how he looks, but that's not how I depict how he looks. But I believe that same God exists, but I don't believe that's how he looks. And people will try to fight you of, no, my God is my God and my God's the only God. So then it almost, in a way, it almost brings a cult-like following. Because, and the reason why I bring this up is because I watched a YouTube video of just like top 10 weirdest cults or something like that, or gruesome cults or something like that. And it all begins with someone who says, hey, like, God spoke to me and I'm the chosen one, and kind of just shit like that. And then he starts getting followers and this and that and whatnot. And just how almost every single cult is similar in their own way, about someone saying that God chose them, they're the chosen one, so you have to follow what I say and what I do, and because this is the way that it's supposed to be. It's me listening to it and watching it, I'm like, that actually begs the question: is that how Christianity, is that how Catholicism came to be? Is that how, like, the Presbyterians, is that how a lot of this stuff came to be? People basically said, hey, God said this, like, I am God's chosen one, follow what I say, follow what I do. Like, think about it. Is that real? Like, is that kind of just what it is? Like, are we all, or not just we all, are just, is everyone like in a cult-like following when it comes to a religion like that? Like, just really think, like with Muslims, how they don't eat pork. Like, again, it's probably maybe all Muslims or a bunch of other one, or like different ones, but I know the Muslims that I talk to, they don't eat pork. Neither of them, not a single one of them, eat pork. They eat beef, they eat chicken, they eat fish, but pork is very sacred. Oh, excuse me. Pork is very sacred to them. They do not eat it one bit. And obviously because they have their own beliefs, they have their own reasons why they don't eat pork. But then yet you come to like Christianity and Catholicism and whatnot, we eat whatever the fuck we want. We eat pork, beef, chicken, fish, all that fun stuff. But then when you really look into the Bible, like when it comes to Lent, that little time period where all you can really eat is fish, that's all we think about. That's what we do. And people follow it. People follow it like a cult because they say that's what's supposed to be done. Lent is during this, just like with Muslims when they do, what's it called? Ramadan. When they do Ramadan, and they basically, you don't eat. You can only drink. I've been told different. I've been told you can only drink water and rarely eat, like barely eat. Like, obviously, you're not gonna fucking starve yourself and kill yourself, but barely eat. Like little bit of water, and that's really it for a time period. And that's what they believe, because they believe that then cleanses their body, and they survive. And so then it's one of those where it's like, I mean, obviously that's what they believe. That's what they believe it does. And so I don't know, like, to me it's interesting, like things we do, things we believe in based on our religion. It's just like, I don't know what to really say about it, because, and again, I'm not judging any religion. It's weird on how we do it, on how we believe on all that. And then people who criticize the people who worship Satan, like that's their religion. They worship Satan and they practice Satanism because that's what they believe. They believe his beliefs. And why are you judging their beliefs on what they believe based on your religion? Like, sometimes people who practice Satanism can be the nicest people. They just see things differently. People who are Jews see things differently than Christians and Catholics. People who are who don't believe in a single religion, atheists, they they see things differently. They're not saying your God doesn't exist. They just see things differently. because I know I'm listening to a book right now called The Power of Now. And it's a like a spiritual master, like teacher and shit like that. And one of the things that he said about like God and stuff like that is he believes that people lie to themselves. People lie to themselves on there being a higher power, on there being a so-called God. People lie to themselves because they don't know how to find themselves spiritually. Like they don't know how to find themselves with like how to find themselves deep, like how to really look into themselves deeply. That they lie to themselves and say, well, like spiritually is like about God and stuff like that. Like they are lying to themselves because they genuinely can't. They like haven't found themselves. Because one of the things that he said, which honestly it was kind of shocked because that it was said in a smart way of what the hell was it? Oh, because he had his depression, he had his anxiety. That one day, well, I think he was like 28 or 29. That one day he woke up and just did not want to do it anymore. He did not want to live anymore. That he was genuinely ready to end it until just like but he said that he looked deep within himself, deep within his mind, and he said, "Am I really trying to like basically kill or finish, whatever you want to call it, or end?" Of He was like, do I really want to end myself, or am I trying to end my one life? Because he believes that, well, his belief was that you are living two different lives, and the life that you are trying to kill is the one you don't want to live anymore. And by killing your first life, or whatever, or however he put it, by doing that, you are able to live your second life. And which was honestly interesting because and again, I'm a Catholic, so I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, follow him, whatever. It was just interesting on what he said about you're not trying to kill yourself in general or end yourself in general. You're trying to end you're trying to end the life you currently are living so you can live the second life that's waiting for you. And again, he's not promoting to kill yourself. What he is saying is you have to look deep within yourself. But I mean deep within yourself to truly find who you are and to truly find your second life. And because just think about it in general, like if you are constantly stressed with anxiety, depressed, because of the repeated life that you are living like that, and you get miserable to the point where yes, you want to end it, you want to kill yourself. And it's like, do you truly want to end yourself, or do you just want to end the life that you are living? And by ending that life that you are currently living, and you basically grow, you think of it like a cocoon. You become a worm, you're in a cocoon, and then you sprout into a butterfly. Ending that life that you don't want to live anymore to start a whole completely different life is needed. What could be needed. Because again, think about it. Again, I may be depicting it in a whole different sense, but this is just how I'm depicting it. And it's, you don't truly want to end yourself. You just want to end the life that you are currently living. Because you can be working your minimum wage job, or even just not a minimum wage, maybe an office job, or just a job you don't like. And because it's, let's say it pays well, but you just don't like it, or it doesn't pay well and you just don't like it. And then you come home stressed about if you're going to eat or not because you paid all your bills or shit like that, that you're like, well, you don't want to live like that anymore. So you decide to look within yourself and say, okay, I need to strengthen up. I need to do something about this. that you basically you want to kill that part of your life. You want to kill that life to start a new life. To, again, not end yourself, to kill that life, that past life, that current life you're living right now. Because by doing so, you will truly see the benefit. You will truly see, like, if once you want to get out of that loop, and you, let's say, decide, maybe I need to start getting a promotion so I can start getting paid more, or maybe I truly need to apply to a different job. Like, I've been scared to do so because of being judged or whatever, that, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and do it because I'm tired of doing this job. Or your dream, let's say, like, it's a business that you want to start, that you said, fuck it. Obviously, still work your job, but you say, fuck it, I'm going to start this business because I've been pushing it off far too long. Or you decide you want to go back to school because you're tired of it and you want to go back to school to get a degree to get a different job. Like, that's kind of like what he was saying. Or let's say even like you're overweight, you're obese, and you're tired of it. You're tired of your sleeping problems. You're tired of your heart problems. You're tired that you can't bend down and tie your shoes without breathing heavily. And you're tired of that. You're ready to kill that life off to start a new one. That you decide to start going to the gym. You decide to start eating healthier. You decide to start proportioning your meals and whatnot. That you genuinely start seeing a difference. And you start saying, I feel happier now because I'm changing something. That you are killing off your old life to start a new life. Same with like I said, with the whole school and job thing. You go to school, whether you get an associate's, a bachelor's, master's, whatever the case may be, and an opportunity opens up at the college and says, hey, you can become you find a psychologist, you talk to your psychologist there if you're trying to get a psychology degree, and now here you are, and they're giving you an opportunity to get a psychology job that pays way more than what you're doing. And you truly do love this job. You love that career. And bam. That would have never happened if it weren't for you killing your old job. And that old job, killing your past life to start this new life. Or your business. If, let's say, you started, you're working, and 3, 4, 5 years later, it's booming. To the point where you don't need to work your job, your part-time or full-time job anymore. You can finally start doing this. Work your own. No, I want to say work your own hours. Work the hours for you. You're working hours for your business, something you are creating or have created, and you want to maintain it, knowing that's yours. Not, you're not working for someone else. You're creating something for you and to possibly help others, to create more jobs in the future or something like that, or just whatever the case may be. Like, it's interesting when he was saying about that and saying how the whole, because you can pray to God. You can pray to God of, man, I hope I can get it. Like, praying to God of, please God, give me a raise, or please God, make me skinny and stuff like that. But until you do something about it, you are never going to kill off that old life. You're never going to kill it. You're never going to end that old life. You're always going to repeat the cycle unless you do something about it. Literally, unless you do something about it. No more complaining. Go do something about it. My name is Marco Martinez. Thank you for listening to the Marco Martinez Show. I know this is a completely different one, but hey, it's just kind of what was on my mind. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.